We all want positive press for the passion we're turning into policy. But how do you get that interview, and what do you say when the recording starts? On today's Better Advocacy in 10 minutes or less, we're going to cover everything you need to know for a successful media story. First, you need to let them know you exist. Yes, the reporters don't know about you, your org, or your mission. Well, if they don't know you, how can they talk to you? So how do you let them know you exist? Well, one way is you can actually show up at press conferences and pass your card out to the reporters you see there and explain how you can contribute to their stories. The personal connection created in these moments can go a long way for establishing a good relationship. You can also send emails to reporters thanking them for covering topics in your area of expertise and include links to your policy work. This not only validates their work, but it helps to build you as an expert in their eyes. But now let's take it up one more notch. Or is that 3 notches? Anyways, you can also send an expert pitch at the appropriate times. Now, you might be asking yourself, or me, what is an expert pitch? Unlike that curveball I could never master in Little League, in public relations, an expert pitch is a concise and targeted message directly sent to journalists or media outlets that I know you can master. Your aim is to secure media coverage by highlighting your expertise on a specific topic and its relevance to that journalist's audience. Now, here's a breakdown of your expert pitch. Focus. Unlike a press release, an expert pitch isn't about having a big, broad announcement. It focuses on a specific story idea or angle related to current events, trends, or upcoming happenings. Target. It's not a mass email blast to everyone in your media list. You do have one of these, right? If not, don't worry about it. We'll cover that in another video. You want to research and directly contact journalists who cover your area of expertise and whose audience would be interested in your insights. Now let's talk about structure. There are 5 parts to this. First is a compelling subject line. You want to grab their attention with a clear and concise statement that teases your expertise and the newsworthy angle. You want a personalized introduction. Remember, this isn't a big email blast. You want to briefly introduce yourself, your credentials, and mention your familiarity with the reporter's work. Then comes the pitch. This is where you hook them. Explain the current topic, your unique perspective, and why it would be valuable for their audience. Then you offer your expertise. Clearly state your availability for interviews and mention any relevant sources you can provide. Things like research papers, quotes, impacted people, and other stuff like that. Finally, your closing. Briefly thank them for their time and offer further information if they need it. Now you might think, why would a journalist pay attention to an email like this? Well, it actually benefits those journalists. It saves them time by offering a prepackaged story idea with a readily available expert. That's you. And you provide valuable insights and fresh perspectives on a topic. And think about the benefits for you. You're increasing you and your organization's brand awareness and credibility as an expert. And you are making an opportunity to share your knowledge and influence public opinion. Keep it concise, aim for only about 2 to 3 paragraphs. Proofread meticulously. If you want to be an expert, you've got to write like one. Finally, follow up if you don't hear back within a reasonable time frame, usually 1 to 2 days. Unsolicited emails can get lost in the shuffle. A gentle bump is a great way of flagging you as a real person and not some spam email. Now that you have that interview, you need to be prepared. Know your purpose. Are you pushing a policy, getting support for a vote, or applying public pressure to an elected official? Your purpose will determine what you say and how you say it. And once you've settled on your purpose, draft and rehearse your statements. Some folks might like to wing it, but having a few rehearsed responses will build your confidence and make you sound more confident in the interview. And you know what happens when you sound more confident? People are more likely to listen to you and believe what you're saying. And don't forget to figure out what you're going to do with your hands. You know, if you've never been on camera, your hands can really take on a life of their own, and that is really distracting. All right, back to the more serious stuff. Be sure to provide background information to the reporter before your interview. This will help them ask better questions. And finally, dress professionally, or in a way that matches your message. Different orgs and policy work lend themselves to different styles of dress. Not everyone should be in a suit, and not everyone should be in a logo t-shirt. Do what works best for you, and do it well. Now, during the interview, you'll want to pay attention to a few things. First, speak clearly and concisely. Rambling should be kept to a minimum if you're prepared. For TV and radio interviews, follow the reporter's directions on where to look and how to speak. It may not feel natural at first, but these are professionals and they want you to look and sound good, because when you look and sound good, it makes them look good. When you're talking, avoid exaggerations or language that's out of character for your organization, and especially making things up. If the reporter asks you a question that you don't have the facts to answer, do not make something up. You want to preserve your org's credibility, so simply state, I don't have that information on hand, but I'll get back to you when I'm back at the office after checking with X, or something like that. Then, once you get that information, follow up with the reporter so they can have the facts. Well, look, there you go. Congratulations. You successfully talked to a reporter. But you're not done yet. There are still a few things you want to do after the interview. Thank the reporter for their time before you leave. Send a follow-up email within 24 hours, thanking them again, and offer additional information based on the way the interview went. Once the interview is published, you're going to thank them again. Do you see that trend there of thanks? Yeah. If necessary, let them know if any corrections are needed. While the old saying is all press is good press, you want to make sure you and your org are represented clearly and correctly in that press. I've done interviews where the reporter ended up focusing on small, tangential issues instead of the main problem that I wanted us to discuss. It was frustrating and disappointing. But instead of flaming them on social media, which would discourage future reporters from contacting me, I reached out and shared my concerns with the goal of making a change to the published story and providing a teaching moment for future interviews. Finally, throughout the whole process, stay professional and respectful. These are professionals, and you may not always agree with what they publish, but treating folks with respect will increase your chances of a follow-up interview and better future press coverage. Looking for more tips? Looking for more ideas on how to increase your advocacy skills and turn your passion into policy? Check out other videos in my series, Better Advocacy in 10 Minutes or Less.